if you go back and you watch when they fired Doug, okay, Doug won a Super Bowl, went to 3 straight playoff three straight playoff years in a row. Misses one, gets fired. And then when you listen to the owner, he literally says, I don't hold some of these picks against Howie Roseman. Well, he's been the guy making the picks all along. So you got to wonder where the accountability to the GM is. And then what do? You give him a 3-year extension. I think Howie does a good job with contracts. He does a good job in trades. But he does not do a good job. He scares the hell out of me in this draft, in all drafts.
Welcome back. National Football Show. Your boy, Dave Sills. By the way, D-Gun tomorrow, and on Friday, we're going to have our boy Bruce Arians after the NFL owner meetings. He will step in with us here. But now, look, I'll tell you this, man. Very rarely do I do this, but I have been getting massive requests. It's like a comedian going up on stage and someone saying, try this, Joe, try this. And everyone's like, you got to get Philly.500, and you got to bring him on. This guy's got a massive fan base in Philadelphia. He barks at the moon about the Eagles, too, just like Xander and myself do. So let's bring him in here right now, here on the National Football Show. All right, brother, man, I appreciate you stepping in. By the way, dude, man, you got some boys, man. I mean, you got people rolling around. They're all in here now.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me on, man. This is an honor to be with Dan Sileo. I've been watching you for a long time, man. So I appreciate you having me on, man. I think the reason why I got the fan base is just simply because I look like Denzel Washington. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be on. But look at me, Denzel Washington, right? Everybody knows it.
I love the Kelly jersey, dude, man. That's old school. Jerome. Oh, my God, he got a Jerome Brown jersey. Hold on, dude. Hold on.
There you go.
Okay? I'm going to make it like this here for us here because we're brothers here now. So look at this, man. We're all good now.
That's it. I grew up. You know, I was 13, 14, 15 with the Jerome Brown days. Jerome, Reggie, Clyde. That's where I come from, the old school Eagles. Kelly Green. They should bring back Kelly Green, by the way. Just my opinion.
And I'm with you. I love the Kelly Greens, man. Let's get into some of the stuff going on with the Philly. I said this, man, a couple minutes ago. Dude, I look at the history of this team with the wideouts, the lack thereof. Are the Eagles cheap?
The Eagles are cheap, except for when they don't want to be. Like, when the Eagles seem like they really want somebody, they'll get them. I mean, they wanted Darius Slay, they'll go out, they'll get him. When they want to make a trade for somebody, they will. But the problem is I think they're cheap situationally according to position. So they're going to pay for left tackle. They're going to pay for defensive end. They'll pay for those things. But when it comes to linebackers, when it comes to wide receivers, no, they don't like to pay the fazools. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I'm going to read you some names here, brother. Okay. This is since Howie's been in the building. He's been in the building as a capologist since 2000, and then his evolution as VP of personnel and general manager. He's had a couple stints. But listen to somebody. These are just 10 dudes that I wrote that I thought that were your best wideouts.
Okay.
T.O., 04 to 05. Deshaun Jackson, 08 to 2020. Jason Avant, 06 to 13. Jeremy Macklin, who happens to be the last 1,000-yard wide receiver you've had in the buildings, that was 2009 to 14. Then you had Reggie Brown. You had Alshon Jeffries, Riley Cooper, Freddie Mitchell. Philly, these guys are just dudes. And then I'm supposed to look – watch this. And then I'm supposed to look at Jalen Hurts, and they've got Devonta Smith, they've got Zach Pascal, and Quez Watkins. How are you supposed to get the best out of Jalen Hurts when you've got I give Devonta Smith. I think there could be something there. But, bro, I mean, there's just not a lot of talent around him.
I love Devonta Smith, but they didn't even, to me, use him right. I think they gave him 104 targets last year. It's not enough. They acted like Jalen Regular, who I call him Regular because it reminds me of Nelson Aguilar. It's all mental. He stinks, but they treat him like, they game plan more around Jalen Regular than Devonta Smith. I agree with you. I think there's a major problem here. And I think that what the Eagles are kind of saying is not what they're kind of doing. And to make things worse, the TO was a trade, right? That was under Andy's regime. Deshaun Jackson, Macklin, Andy Reid had an influence in picking them. Really, when you look at Howie's picks at wide receiver, the only one is Devonta Smith. Even Alshon Jeffrey was a free agent signing. So it's bad.
How about this, man? I mean, let's talk about some of the players. When I came on this network last year, Xander, because Xander, man, he loves his Bama guys, and he asked me right out of the gate, what do you make of Devonta Smith? I go, hey, I think Devonta Smith's a fine ball player. He just doesn't fit Philly. And he goes, what do you mean? I go, well, the quarterback won't be able to find him. And to your point, about 104 targets, 68 catches, 900 yards, 900 some odd yards, a little bit, maybe 970 or something like that in reception yards. That's common. Now, do I think if he's with Joe Burrow, he's 1,000 yard? I mean, he's a 100 catch guy and 1,000-yard guy. I do think that. But in this system, Philly, watch this. That dude, Jalen Waddle, had Tua and he had Jacoby Brissett. He still had 104
he
catches.
Went off. I know.
In 1,000. Your take on Devonta Smith?
I mean, there was a lot of times where I was watching games and I'm going, he's open. He's open. Then you go back, you watch all 22, you look, he's open. And they're just not throwing it to him. Even in the Tampa Bay game, right, the playoff game, he didn't get a target, I think, until the third quarter. Now, how does a guy go that long without a target when he's your number one pick? Now, the week before the final week of season, they wanted him to come out and break Deshaun Jackson's rookie receiving yards record. And what did they do? They went to him often and early, and he caught everything. Then they pulled him. If they treated him just like that to me during the regular season, I think he would have had a lot more production. But again, this comes back to the system they're running. They run heavy, and the question is can Jalen Hurts be the guy? That's a question we don't know.
And to me, he can be.
I don't know. I'm middle of the road. I like the kid. I like his leadership qualities. I like his intangibles, but I have to see him do it. I just feel like that. I feel like they're coming out and they're saying, "Yeah, we Jalen Hurts is our guy. Jalen Hurts is our guy," but their actions don't match that.
Look at what they're doing, Philly. Look at what they're doing for Tua. Okay, watch it.
Yeah,
they went out, got Tyreek Hill, made him a $25 million a year guy. They got him on the other side of Waddle. You're doing this. Okay, we're going to find out if Tagovailoa's the guy now. Look at what they did for Jalen. They bring in Zach Pascal. That doesn't tell us anything.
It doesn't help us. Literally, we have the same offense as last year. How can you know if this is the kid? Now, get this too. When they and Carson Wentz's second year, they went out and they got Alshon Jeffrey. They got Torrey Smith. They tried to put pieces around them. Then the big thing was, hey, we've got to take advantage of this quarterback on a rookie contract. Now you got this kid who's in a rookie contract as a second-round pick. I don't even know how much can he be making. Not that much. And they're putting nothing around him. So to me, what they're telling me is, to me, in my opinion, I think they don't think he's the guy. And they already know it.
That's a great point. Folks, listen to what he said. When they thought they had a franchise quarterback in Carson Wentz, what did they do? They traded with the Bears and got Jeffries in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
That's right, dude. You're right. They went out and tried to find a piece for him, didn't they?
Yeah. They brought him and Torrey Smith in. And then they went and they got LeGarrette Blount. They traded during the season for Jai. And the whole thing was, well, we got him on a rookie contract. We got to take advantage of it. Well, Jalen Hurts is on a rookie contract, not as the second pick overall, but as a second-round quarterback.
$1.2 million he's making.
Yeah, and you're not going to go take advantage of that. The Tyreek Hill thing pisses me off because when I look at a guy who can actually scare defenses and changes a game, Tyreek Hill is that guy. Wouldn't he be the perfect guy to try to put with Hurts? Because he could help him in so many different ways, just taking pressure off people like Devonta Smith. The fear that Tyreek Hill puts in a defense, to me, is crazy. And they didn't even – I don't care that they lost out and they didn't get him, but they didn't even try. They didn't even try.
I want to throw this at you here too. And I said this. Hey, tell me if you agree or disagree on this here. I'm calling the Eagles Super Bowl. I'm calling it a fluke only because of this. Not because of them.
Fluke, oh man.
I want to clarify it so you understand where I'm coming from here.
Okay.
In that Super Bowl, they beat the living shit out of the Patriots so bad that in the fourth quarter, the Patriots put a white flag up and put their hand up. And they basically rolled over. And they got their asses kicked by the two best combinations of lines I've seen in 10 years. The Eagle D-line and the Eagle O-line. All that being said, that team wasn't built for sustained success. Next year, I say this to you, maybe you disagree. If Jeffries catches that pass in New Orleans, that team is probably in their second straight NFC championship game. So my point is that Eagle team that won that Super Bowl had a 2-year window. After that year, it started unraveling upstairs between the coach and the GM. The owner wanted to have these special Tuesday meetings about why you only won by one. You know what I'm saying? Or how about this? Getting into it with the coach about the active rosters on who should be active on Sundays. That Nate Sudfeld thing was a freaking colossal disaster. At the end, when they sat all those starters, that was just some of the turmoil. So what they did, they almost unraveled themselves after that Super Bowl. That's why I say this team was not built for a long success when they won that Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right, because when they brought in all those guys to take advantage of Carson's contract, eventually they had to sign them. So after they win a Super Bowl, they're re-upping and they're rewarding all these guys who were all older, kind of like that was their last thing. And a lot of these guys started breaking down, and they were sitting there putting money, restructuring his contract, restructuring that contract. And they didn't really build it for the long term. They did. They built it in the short term. I agree with that. But here's the thing with the Eagles, and if people on my channel know, you have a Howie Roseman problem. Okay, I don't know how this guy gets away with the amount of misses in the draft as he got. I mean, go back and look from 2013, 2014. Just look at his draft classes. They're horrendous.
This is how he gets away with it. Watch this. He's the Carson Wentz of GMs. Watch how he does it. Watch this. He's got 11 draft choices, 3 ones. He's $30 million under the cap. He's got a coach that got him to the playoffs. He's got a Pro Bowl alternate he drafted in the second round. On paper, you look at that and you go like this. Wow. From outside at 30,000 feet looking down, you go like this. This guy's a pretty good capologist. Look what he's done in personnel. They made the playoffs. And you look at it, but then you don't really dissect it until what you said and what you do. And then you look at the offensive firepower going into 0-2, you go, dog, you ain't winning a division title with them guys.
Yeah. Hey, it could be much simpler than that. It could have been a trip to Tijuana, and they were in some brothel, and Howie's got compromising photos on the owner. So now he's getting 3-year extensions here, 3 years extensions there. Because look, if you go back and you watch when they fired Doug, Doug won a Super Bowl, went to 3 straight playoff 3 straight playoff years in a row, misses one, gets fired. And then when you listen to the owner, he literally says, I don't hold some of these picks against Howie Roseman. Well, he's been the guy making the picks all along. So you got to wonder where the accountability to the GM is. And then what do? You give him a 3-year extension. I think Howie does a good job with contracts. He does a good job in trades, but he does not do a good job. He scares the hell out of me in this draft, in all drafts, to be honest.
You don't believe then that Doug should have been fired?
No, I don't. I mean, I wasn't the biggest Doug fan, but I think a guy that wins you a Super Bowl, takes a team that's constantly injured every year, gets into the playoffs 3 straight years, and then has one off year, I think he deserved. I thought he earned the right to at least try to fix things. But I think the problem was that Doug wanted more control over the roster, and Howie wasn't giving up any control. You remember what Howie Roseman, he lost control to Chip Kelly. He was in the boiler room for a year or two. He's never going to let that happen. That's why when you look at the coaches that they get, it's always some new coach coming around, because I think Howie's a control freak. That's just me. Okay. And anybody that listens to me on my channel, they know I've been saying this for years about Howie Roseman.
What do you make of Nick Sirianni?
I mean, it's going to take a few years to know for sure. But what I liked about Nick last year was his willing to adjust his offense to win games. I think a coach that can look at his roster and say, this is what's best for us, and then change to do that, he won me over a little bit. And he's Italian. He likes cannolis and gabagool like us.
Hey,
you know?
How you doing? All right.
Hey, you know?
It's such a great point that you made. I said this after Fletcher Cox bitched about not understanding Jonathan Gannon's system and seeing a little bit of some of the leadership step up. And all of a sudden they were 2-5. In my opinion, them listening to the players in the locker room, and to your point, them adjusting Philly, for them to be able to go, okay, we can't throw the ball 38 times. We're going to have to run the ball 38 times. For them to be able to do that, a lot of head coaches who are stuck in cement in the way they do business, you know, they're not going to change, man. You don't change a zebra's stripes on them, because that's just who they are. But he did, and it showed me that, okay, he's open to hearing the players. We need to do this. We need to listen to the veteran guys. To me, I think that benefited him. And I'll even make this point to you. I think it really saved a lot of face in Philadelphia, because after the Flower stuff and all that other bullshit with the Kobayashi and, you know, the videos and stuff, that's not going to fly in Philly with all those hokey things that you're talking about. So I think he saved the ship. Don't you agree, by getting him?
Yeah, I do. But the question now is what can he do from here on?
Agreed.
Right. And
I
that's
think
what we have to find out.
It's a 3-year window, Philly, before you know if you got a good player or a good head coach.
Yeah, I agree. Except for maybe Jalen Reagor. I think he's trash right now. I don't have to see anymore.
Okay, so give me your sense of what you see this football team doing. And look, I'm going to ask you prior to the April draft on what they have right now. How do you see this football team performing? Knowing this, little tougher schedule. They made the postseason. They're not a division winner, so they're not going to get a division schedule, but they'll get a wild card schedule, and it should be a little tougher, even though the NFC is down a little bit more. How do you think the thing plays out?
Well, and that's the other thing. The NFC is kind of wide open right now.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to tell you, like, right now I see the Eagles pretty much about the same as they were last year. I think they're between 6 to 8, 9 wins at best. I think defensively they're better with Hassan Reddick. I think they improved there. Not including what they do in the draft or what they still do in free agency. Offensively, I think you're dealing with the same offense as last year. Matter of fact, I still think you need another running back. So I think maybe 7, 8 wins right now, and then according to this draft, that we're going into, I think the Eagles. I think they're going to trade out of the first round with one of those picks. They're going to make sure they have insurance of an extra first round pick, because just in case Jalen Hurts ain't the guy, they're going to get a quarterback within the next 2 years. I think they're drafting a quarterback in the next 2 years. See, I think this whole thing is they're showing publicly that they back up Jalen Hurts, but everything they've done privately or we've heard from trying to inquire about Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, to these other quarterbacks. I don't think they really believe in him, because if they really believed in him, I think they would put things around him. Now, it's still early, but the sense I get is that they're telling us, yeah, we believe in him, but we're not going to help him out. They're setting him up for failure, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm going to ask you about the draft here. Guys, hit the like button. I appreciate you guys coming aboard. And by the way, all the Phillies boys and girls coming in here, we so appreciate him coming over here and really adding to the program. By the way, brother, we'll be doing this again. I'm saying this, Philly. I think they go into this draft and they got to get some skilled guys. So I think it's wide receiver. And by the way, I think they do trade out, and they do this, Philly. I think they trade out, get another first for next year, okay? And they get another one next year so they can have two next year, continue to build, because you never know what kind of quarterback. Maybe C.J. Stroud could be the dude next year. Like you said, next 2 years they draft a quarterback. But this year, I say they're going to go edge rusher, wide receiver. Do you agree?
Yeah, I'll say I think they're going to go defensive line. So they may go interior. But I think defensive line, and it looks like it's going to be wide receiver again, because they haven't picked anybody up. I mean, they gotta improve this offense somewhere. The only problem is you get a rookie receiver and he may not be ready the first year. How much is he going to really give you? Not everybody's Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. So that scares me. I think they need a veteran. I think they need a veteran. I don't know if Jalen Hurts is the guy. I want them to give him an opportunity. I need them to pull something like DK Metcalf for a first-round pick. Something
Dude,
major.
He's on the block. By the way,
I know.
Sileo, you've got one of the best YouTube guys on your show today. Shout out to Philly.500. Hey, thank you, Juice. By the way, hey, AJ Brown. Here, I got the names. AJ Brown from the Titans, also DK Metcalf and Devonta Parker are on the trading block right now for potentially some team to call them. Why won't Howie call one of these teams to try to bring this guy and put him on the other side?
I don't know. And I think
what would you give up for DK?
A first and a fourth right now.
A first? Wow.
Yeah, I got 3 first-round picks. I mean, I think that would help. The only thing about him is he's just hurt a lot, right? He's older now. So I worry about that.
Hamstrings.
Yeah, I would like it. See, if you could bring in a guy like DK, who's, I think his real name's DeKalen Zacharias. Dude, you know you're a player with that kind of name, right?
Zacharias. Guys like Zeus.
Yeah, good God. I mean, how do you not draft him? They drafted J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. You look at this guy, and then you look at that guy. I'll never understand it. But get a guy 25, 26 that you could build for the future with. That's what I would like them to do. But I know they won't do it. I know they won't. But I'm telling them they should.
Man, I just tell you, man, it's going to be interesting to see if because there's no doubt they're going to push all their chips in during the draft and see what they end up coming out with. And it's going to be interesting to see. Hey, brother, I'll tell you what, man, we got to do this again. I can't tell you how I appreciate barking in here with us, man.
I appreciate you having me, and I have to get you on my channel as well sometime, man. It would be great.
Hey, man, I do Seth Joyner. I'll do you too, man. All good.
That's awesome. Seth Joyner, man, what a linebacker he was.
No shit, man.
That's my guy.
Watch this. That Eagle defense, okay? People always bark at the 85 Bears. You know why? Because the 85 Bears closed the deal and went through the finish line.
Yep.
But when you're talking that Eagle gang green defense, Andre Waters and the secondary doesn't get the love that because the front four was so dominant with Reggie and Jerome, Clyde Simmons.
Simmons is even forgotten about nowadays. People don't realize how good he was.
But watch this. I'm going to throw this at you here as we close up this. Watch it. How much would you pay Reggie White today in the open market, knowing what Aaron Donald, and Aaron Donald's nowhere in Reggie White's league? What would you pay for that guy?
Whatever he wants.
Dude, watch this.
Whatever.
He's a $25 million a year guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The guy average over a sack 8 game, right?
Watch this. Jerome's a $20 million guy.
Jerome
Clyde
Brown.
Simmons would be a $15 to $16 million, $18 million a year guy.
Yeah.
Seth Joyner would probably be a $20 million linebacker.
Yep. I'll tell you another guy on that defense that doesn't get a lot of love. Byron Evans, the middle linebacker, number 56. I thought he was fantastic too. Eric Allen, Seth Joyner. I mean, what a team.
See, look at
that
this.
Greatest defense ever.
Brennan, see what kind of – look at that. You see that guy? You know what? That's what's wrong with you because people are – you're just as dumb as the night is long. You better pause, Dan. Thank you very much. You know me. I'm Italian. I'm very emotional. Favorite Italian food, Philly?
Gnocchi.
Ooh. Gabardines.
Yeah.
You like?
Oh, that's yeah.
Okay, Sicilians call them gabardines. The little,
Okay.
yeah. Do you put them in the sauce with the meatballs and all that, right?
Oh yeah. You
like
know.
gabagool?
I live on it. I live on it.
Okay, let me see. There's my folks make pizza frite. Okay, galamad, obviously for white folks that means calamari's fried.
I'm not a calamari. No, I don't like that.
You don't?
No, because I was forced to eat it when I was a kid on Christmas Eve, the 7 fishes.
Oh my God, we do that every Christmas Eve too.
And it scarred me. It scarred me for life.
Oh my God, man! We'd have scungio. Oh my favorite is scungio lobsters too. I love scungio and lobsters.
There you go. You're getting me hungry.
I appreciate it.
All right, man. I gotta go eat. So thanks for having me on. I gotta go eat.
There he is,
all right,
Philly, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I got to take a brief time out here, man, to cool out here, man. That was really cool, man. I appreciate him coming aboard. Hit the like button. Keep it right here on the National Football Show.